Hey y'all, this is Calvin with As It Is podcast number 13. Um, I'm in a space right now. Well, you know what? I just got out of that space because Nicole told me a couple of positive things. I got a couple of positive responses to some posts that I sent out. So I'm feeling better today. But for the past few days, I've really been kind of down because it's just so much stuff going on, so much shit happening that it doesn't seem like we're addressing them in the manner in which we should or with the speed that I think we should. And it's just disturbing. And and I like in 2012 I started writing blogs and post them online. And just because I feel that there's so much that needs to be done in our world, and it was at the apex kind of the global warming thing, and I said let me start writing some stuff. So I started writing some stuff in terms of how I felt that we as a people could kind of remedy some of the problems that we're having. And I talked about education, I talked about the church, I talked about our health, and other issues like that. I talked about our spiritual well-being and our mental well-being and things of that nature. And again, it's because I felt that something needed to be said, something needs to be done, and something definitely needed to be said. So I started writing blogs in 2012. I wrote about 142 of them. And then in February of this year, I started doing these podcasts. So podcast number one, now I want you guys to go to YouTube and put in as it is is. That's as it is. That's one word. As it is podcast number one. Go to YouTube. As it is the number symbol one, and take a look at that and kind of reflect on what it is that I said so you can get a better understanding of what I'm saying now. Anyway, I started that in February. I think it was February the 10th of this year. And the reason I did that is because I want you guys to see what it is I was talking about and see the things like this that I've started in order to kind of live what it is that I've been talking about. I want to live my story. I don't want to just say that this is something that we can achieve or something that we can do. I want you to see that, and so this is it. And it's symbolic of what it is that I'm talking about, that being that we have the power and the responsibility to do something about our world situation. So getting back to why I'm so disturbed is because, just take a for instance. I got a message from Chase Bank saying our bank is going to close at 1 o'clock on Friday in memory or in commemoration of Juneteenth. What? Why? If you're so concerned and so wanting to do something about Juneteenth, why don't you just close the damn bank for the whole day? And they're talking about making this a national holiday, Juneteenth. What about the police brutality? What are y'all doing about that? You're going to give us a national holiday or talking about it. And then there's another piece that Nicole told me about, that they're talking about banning, what's the name of that movie?
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. And the reason being because, what's her name? McDaniels, Hattie McDaniels got a role that wasn't conducive to black beauty and that kind of thing, and so they talking about banning that movie from being seen. What about, what's that movie that they showing in the White House? The Birth of a Nation. They showed that in, I think it was 1912, The Birth of a Nation. And the premise of Birth of a Nation, they're saying that the Ku Klux Klan was justified in doing what they're doing, in essence, killing black people. This is in 1912, I think. And what it's saying in essence is that, they got black people, well, not black people, but they got people in black face, and it's mostly men, and they're showing how just barbaric they are and how they love white women and they're raping white women and all this kind of stuff. And so the Ku Klux Klan had to step in to offset this problem, and that same mentality exists today, which is why they're killing our black boys and our black girls and men and women. The same principle. We're animals. You know what I'm saying? And why y'all ain't banning that? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna ban Gone with the Wind for depicting a black woman in a negative manner, but you're not gonna ban a movie that talks about it's justifiable to kill black people, because of our animal. It's just, it bothers me. You know what I mean? And then, I sent a piece out today to some people, and it's a black cop, and he's saying how scared he was when he got stopped by the police. And he said he didn't want to. They said, "Do you have a weapon?" And he said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, where is it?" And he said, "On my side." And he said, "And I definitely wasn't going for it because I might get killed." And I wanted to move my hands. But I knew I couldn't because I might get killed. This is a black police officer talking. And he said what he did was what he should have done or could have done was to call 911. He said, we can do this. And I'm speaking to everybody that's stopped by the police. When you see that light and it doesn't pass you by, but it pulls up behind you, you can dial 911 and say, listen, I'm being stopped by the police. I'm afraid for my life. Can you send a car out? And they have to do that. They have to respond to that. And I don't know how accurate that is, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to call 911 and let them know what's happening. But anyway, what's happening is, as far as I'm concerned, is that nothing is happening of real significance. You know what I'm saying? The powers that be, the so-called powers that be, are doing nothing to offset the killing. Nothing is happening. And then with this corona thing, I am so sick of this. They talking about it. The epidemic has gotten out of proportion, and they're gonna talk about making people wear masks, and enforcing social distancing and all this stuff, y'all. It's about keeping us apart. It's about, us isolating ourselves from each other purposely because of a fear of some virus that they introduced to us, you know what I'm saying? And now it's being used to prevent us from communicating. And there's things going on in the world today that we need to communicate. We need to come together. We need to start talking at least about some of this stuff and then doing something about it. And my frustration comes from I'm doing what I can, and I still don't feel that I'm doing enough. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing happening. Ain't nothing changing. And don't get me wrong, there are millions of people doing what I'm doing and a whole lot more. Angela Davis, we saw her, me and Nicole were in, I don't know where we were, but we got an opportunity to talk with Angela Davis and sit with her and that kind of thing. And she made a mention of, I think she said 100,000 miles she has traveled by plane, just going to lectures and things of that nature, trying to get the word out. She's continuing to be the revolution that she's always been. When she walked into the courtroom, a long time ago, and represent, I'm probably the only black person in this courtroom, but I'm here for my people. You know what I mean? And she's still doing that, y'all. And what are we doing? What are we doing? And it's really bothering me. It's really bothering me. And so what I'm asking, all I'm asking, y'all, let's get this thing going. They talk about chosen people. We are also chosen people. It's our obligation, our responsibility to love one another and do it in whatever way we can. We always talk, I love you. We get off the phone, I love you. We send a text, I love you. We send a Facebook post, I love you. And how? Show me that. Show me that. So let's start at least talking to each other fuck Facebook and all that. It has its place. It definitely has its place. It's a means of communication that's unheralded. You know, Instagram, all that stuff. It has its place. But y'all, come on, take some time out and call somebody. You know what I'm saying? Take some time out. If people are doing things, take some time out and write a little note to them and say, I appreciate what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Let's come together, y'all. We got to come together because it's fucked up. You know, and I ain't asking you to excuse my French because it ain't French. It's niggerism. We're fucked up, you know, and we need to do something, you know. So, and it don't take a whole lot. And I've said this before. And again, As It Is podcast number 1, AsItIs, the number symbol 1. Go on YouTube, check that out, see what it is that I'm saying, and bring it into play today. We got to do something, y'all. And we can begin by just communicating with each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's come together, y'all, please. And don't let the things that are happening keep us apart. You know, everybody has to do what they want to do to make themselves feel comfortable. If you got to wear a mask, you got to stay 6 feet away from each other. All that is cool. All that is cool, you know, but talk to somebody on the phone. Call somebody. You know, my mama says she has made a pledge to call somebody every day. Every day she's calling one person at least. Let's do it once a week. Let's do it once a month. And I've said this before and I'm saying it again. Let's communicate with each other, y'all. And let's talk about what's happening. You know, we ain't got to talk about the gossip about Candace, whatever her name is, and Dave Chappelle and all that. We ain't got to gossip about all that, y'all. That doesn't have to be our only means of communication. We don't have to wait for the media to say something and we respond to that. That don't have to be our only means of communication. You know what I'm saying? We need to talk to each other. We love each other, so call somebody today. Call somebody today. You know what I mean? Just one person, you know, and then call somebody next month. You know, but some kind of way, let's communicate where we can feel the presence of somebody. And Facebook and Instagram, it don't give you that. It does not give you that vibration of a person's voice in your ear. It doesn't give you that vibration of knowing that another person is hearing your voice. You know, and y'all know, all y'all know, even if you 5 years old, you know that you get a lot more in speaking to somebody in person, seeing somebody's face, seeing their expressions and all that, then you can get sending a text message. You know what I'm saying? And more if you see somebody's face than seeing it on Instagram or something like that. You know what I mean? And as I said, those things have their place. They're definitely instrumental in communicating. But let's go back, y'all, to feeling each other. And the only way we're gonna do that is to make a phone call or see each other in person. And let's start by doing that, y'all. Okay? And I'm okay today, for real. I'm okay because I'm gonna continue to do all that I can and do the best that I can and try not to get so upset because I feel that I'm the only one in this, you know, and I know I'm not. There's millions, as I said, doing a whole lot more than me. But I get frustrated at times when I was writing in blogs. The same thing happened because I wasn't getting no responses. So I ain't really concerned as much about y'all responding to what I'm saying as I am about us responding and talking, initiating a conversation with each other. So everything's good. You know, I'm still, you know, working on this stuff. Ain't that nice? It really helps me just coming out here and looking at that. That really helps to know that stuff is still happening, and it helps me a lot more to know that we are all at least aware of the seriousness of our situation. And I need to see that, and I know I don't need to see it. I want for y'all to recognize the seriousness of our situation and how important it is for us once again to communicate with each other on a more humane level. Okay? All right, so thank y'all, you know, and I really love y'all. Okay.